What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at the Million Publishing GoShooter. If you are not familiar with who GoShooter is, I'm not surprised. He is a Japanese-only G1 toy who didn't get a US release, I don't believe. The original, this is actually a knockoff of the original. The original is super expensive to find, like $1,000, G1 Transformer in good condition. Yeah, so he is actually a repaint of the US version of Siren. And these are the repro labels that were done for these knockoffs many years ago. So just for reference, and then here is the brand new one, and look at that tampo work in the paint. Like, this is why I really love the Million Publishing figures. I knew he wasn't going to be cheap, but I knew as soon as I saw him that I needed to have him. My only gripe is this little piece of blue here. It would have been nice if they had cast it in white or black. But you know what? Overall, it's so good, I really can't complain about it. I mean, rarely do you get the windshields all, the rear windscreen is painted. All the light details, the little splitter on the car, the rims, it's gorgeous. From underneath, still looks good. Yeah, I really like this guy. So if you're familiar with GoShooter or Siren, you know that he is a Headmaster Jr. And so this was Shuda, I believe is what his name was in Japanese. And obviously our actual toy can't be a Headmaster. Same with the Nightbeat version of this mold. So they actually give you a little mini-con, and this is the one that came with that Legends Bumblebee. To be his Headmaster buddy. So I think that's a nice little compromise to still include the Headmaster figure in some way, shape, or form. So while we have him in his alt mode, let's bring out the Bumblebee version of this mold and the Nightbeat version. My Nightbeat version having some extra paint, my own doing there, but you can just see, clearly, aside from the blue again, the standout when it came to paint. Didn't have to add stuff, no missing paint. I mean, the black and the silver on Nightbeat here were added by me. Bumblebee does pretty okay on the back. Surprisingly, Bumblebee has a pretty good amount of paint, but you got the different color yellow on the door here with no tampo on it or anything, and certainly no side decal, so still winning in the paint department there. Just gorgeous. And we'll also bring out good old Artfire character I don't have much draw to, but like the look of and like the mold, and Stepper, who I think is still one of the best looking versions of this Jazz. So before we go to his robot mode, I did want to mention he does include these. They're actually all cast in this blue plastic here with the translucent blue from his windows on there. Pretty boring, I just left them in the box, but he does have them. For the little Target Master, of course, if you want to, you can actually turn him into a little weapon by folding some things in and transforming it like that. There's really no good place to put it on here aside from the side of the car, which to me looks a little bit ridiculous. So let's actually transform the Target Master. They are all ridiculously simple. You just take this, and if I can get the mechanism to move, there we go. Put the little antenna like that, and we put that back, and there we go. Not the best looking robot, but nice little representation of the little Headmaster to go with him if that's really important. Alright, so let's actually get GoShooter here transformed. Start by bringing down these little knee pad type things. Disconnect the doors from the car here. That'll let you rotate out the feet all the way. Just like that. Unpeg the feet if they didn't come unpegged already. Like so. And we got most of that done. Now we'll come to the top here. Unpeg the arms, and what you do with the shoulder pads is up to you. I like to do things differently for Nightbeat, but I am going to leave them just like this for GoShooter. And we fold this on in. There's really no reason that they couldn't have cast this piece out of white, unless I guess, well, the reason would be that they had it gated off with the parts that made the main body on the other toys. And on those cases, they were all the same color, and he's the only one who varies. But it would have been nice if they were cast in white. Bring the hood piece down, and that actually does sort of, not very well, plug into the back there, and then slide this down like so, and there we go. You can see he borrows the Nightbeat head, which makes total sense for, you know, the Headmaster body. I can't really fault them for using that. And there we go, we got our GoShooter in his robot mode. I've got his little target master here. I'll give it to him. So there we go, he's holding what was formerly his head in his hand, and I think he looks pretty good. I like that. I've never been the hugest fan of this mold, but there's some cool things. I really wouldn't mind seeing this redone in all black as like a barricade, classics type barricade. I think that'd be pretty awesome. So let's bring in Nightbeat here. You can see the similarities there in terms of all the molding and such. No real extensive remolding aside from the head, but yeah, somehow GoShooter still just looks better, and it might just be the shoulders don't really work this way for Nightbeat, but they are easier to manage when you're trying to pose him in some way. And there's our Bumblebee there. Next, we'll bring out his million publishing buddies. Here is Artfire, and let's see if we can get him entirely in the picture. And then, still what I think is the prettiest is Stepper. I mean, the tampos on this guy are great, but Stepper is just very stunning to see in person. So, and finally for comparison, here he is next to the knockoff GoShooter. Now, things to know about the knockoff GoShooter: the blue should really be closer to this blue. So this is kind of somewhere in between the color it's supposed to be and then the color the fake is. But I mean, it works. It's a nice looking, you know, update to GoShooter. If you want to, you could always not bring these out like I had done and kind of make his arms look like that, which is much more in line with what GoShooter has going on. It's kind of the nice thing about this mold. You can articulate the arms and still leave that out, so really the options are up to you. I think he looks awesome. I do not regret the purchase of him at all. If you like GoShooter, I think it's a no-brainer to get this guy, because I don't think we're ever going to see the original re-released anytime soon. So let's go over the articulation real quick and we'll get on out of here. The head is on a swivel. Your shoulders are on a swivel joint here, and then a side to side here, and at the upper shoulder, so you get a good range of motion out of that. Your bicep swivel is accommodated with the elbow, and you do have a ratcheted elbow and nothing on the hands. You do have a waist swivel, so you can look pretty good like that. The ball jointed legs, thigh swivel, knee, and then you can articulate the like kneecap, I guess, for better range of motion. And then the ball jointed ankle doesn't give you the side to side as you would kind of hope it would. It's kind of a limited ball joint, but it's still ball jointed nonetheless. And then the actual rotation of the foot. I just noticed he's got a tire sculpted in here that I don't think any of them ever picked that detail out, and I almost don't understand why they put it in there, considering every single one of his tires are visible elsewhere on his body. But whatever, design choices, right? So yeah, overall I love this guy. I love GoShooter. I hope to see them in the future do, you know, some of the other releases, like Minerva. It would be cool to get a million publishing Minerva or something like that, but you know, for now we get what we get, and this guy I really like. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next week.